No. Zombies already in here. Oh, the capybara. Capybara, capybara.
And then the song busting in, I got a Glock in my arms.
Oh my
And then
god.
I show the instructions of how to make meth.
Ah, jeez. Oh, welcome. All right. First and foremost, welcome everybody. Welcome, zombie. I don't know if I
Welcome.
have sound alerts disabled. Yes, it is. Okay, thank God. Just in case no one can spam sound alerts today because I'm on the wrong scene. But hey, um, all right. So yeah, let's get started. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Emotional obstacles. Whoa. First and foremost,
Yeah.
Yes.
you guys want to start it? I'm kind of distracted.
Like start what?
Just the topic.
Oh. Sweet. I just kind of got off track. What was happening right now?
So what we're gonna be talking about is what is it? The emotional just
Oh
distractions.
yeah,
What was it?
emotional obstacles.
Obstacles. There we go.
It's more like yeah, um, pretty much things that you should do, but sometimes you just can't do it, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's kind of like let's see how would I describe it? It's like at least for me, like I feel like I maybe subconsciously make myself feel something that way. I'm caught up with that as opposed to doing something I'm kind of dreading, to do. And it's really nothing because it's just I'm just blowing it out of proportion and I know it now, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it's still hard to kind of like fight it. I'm learning, I'm trying, every time I come across it, but just like right now, I should have been doing these things for work. I just put it off until last minute. So it's like I'm feeling like I could have just done this earlier, and I wouldn't have felt any of that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable.
All right. So I know we
Mhm.
all have been there. We're all trying to get through our things, and we also fall into a state of mind where we kind of block ourselves for doing things, which becomes an emotional obstacle with all that. So like it can be filled with anxiety, it can be filled with grief. You can have like panic attacks over just the simplest task, and you're trying, but it's just you're just scared of the outcome. You are scared of the results, and it really affects. No, it's really. I think in some way or form, everybody experiences like these emotional obstacles, and it is a part of life. And like there are ways for us to overcome the anxiety, the fear, the grief. And so my question to you guys, like what is your biggest fear stopping you from just doing the tasks that you need to do?
Feeling that I'm not doing it right. I'm not gonna get it right, and I guess I just don't want to like. I guess I just don't want to feel the feelings that come with being told that I did it wrong. And it's I guess it's my now it's my body's, instinct to just, you know, do that. But it's kind of like fucking me up too, It's like
Yeah.
so, but yeah, it's pretty much I just don't want to feel inadequate. I just want to get told that I did it right. But and so then I'm kind of scared, like I don't know if I did it right because this is the first time I've done it. I had no training,
Yeah.
but still, me being the person that like kind of holds myself higher, like hey, like just because you didn't get training doesn't mean that you can't do it right. You
Yeah.
could do it right, but there goes that fear. It's like it's the little doubts that gather up. It's like, well, I mean, you're kind of, you've never done this before, so you can follow instructions as best you can, and that's it. Or I don't know.
It's more like, do you want the approval of like your superiors whenever you're doing your task?
I feel like this is more of a more personal thing for Hollow. Like, I think it resonates with him, the perfectionism inside of him,
Oh,
Yeah,
to where like he wants to be able to do it, but to do it perfectly so he doesn't face criticism.
yeah.
Which
bro, honestly, I feel you so much on that. Like, holy fuck. For the longest time, I have been like that, like, forever. And it's more like, I don't want people to, well, honestly, I think for like my reason to do that, like, to
Hmm.
have perfectionism in me is because like several some of the reasons is I don't want people talking shit. I I really hate when people talk shit behind me
Hmm.
without even telling me shit. I get really really angry about it. Like you'll never see me mad, but whenever somebody like talks mad shit behind my back, I do get absolutely mad about it.
Yeah.
Another thing is, oh, you're not good enough. That's just disappointing on my part. I just feel disappointed about myself, and I just I just try to do everything perfectly,
Hmm.
not just because I want oh wait a second. Oh yeah. Not just because I want somebody's approval, it's also because I just like um well, at least for me it's in a way that I like when people say, "Oh, he does it really good" or something. That's what I always want to aim for when I'm doing that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
nowadays, it's less than before. I'm just trying my best to like not care too much about it because if not, I'm just gonna just spiral down there again.
okay. Um, I
So
mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you can relate from that or how much we can relate from it, but that's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I feel when it comes to perfectionism.
so you
Yeah.
want to like just be able to like do it perfectly so people don't really talk shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
But like, okay, so imagine you're doing this for the first time, and people are just like they come up to you anyways. They're like, "Oh, this looks like shit. Why aren't you doing it right?" What would your
Mhm.
response be?
Well, my
Uh,
response would be,
yeah.
or
Well,
you
yeah.
okay. Well, pretty much my response would be then show me. Like if I don't know how to do certain job and I wasn't trained for it, then fucking show me. Like I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be no punching bag for anybody because like at least at work because I was a little bit like that for a while until I just pretty much stood up and said like, hey, just don't be an asshole about it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I was about to say something else, but I just went the nicer way.
I think we all like in general face like those people in our lives, like even at my job, like my own coworkers are more critical on me because they're like, "Oh, you can't do a certain skill, we're just not going to let you do it at all." And no matter how much you practice, they're like, "Oh no, you're too slow. We don't want you on this and all that." And they pretty much held me back from my full potential until I started doing it behind their backs and stuff.
Mm.
And it's just like, okay, so I would have been doing this and making much more than I make now because I'm struggling now, you know? Like
Yeah.
I would be making a lot more if I were to like continuously keep doing it. But they feel like they needed to cripple me and handicap me so they can get more money and all this and that. And then in turn, they made me like hypercritical of myself. I'm like, okay, why is my shit not good enough? Like, why can't you tell me a straight answer of why my thing looks shitty or why is it popping off or why can't you show me what you are saying? You know, and it's one of those things where I feel like when you are fighting for income, when you're fighting for your bread,
Yeah.
people will try to stop you from earning your bread, earning your keep. And I might sound a little like, bitter and angry about it, but in all retrospects, like if that competition wasn't really there, we wouldn't be having all the issues that we are having now. Like
Right.
if you were to like if there was no competition, right? You're working for the greater good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't feel the pressure to be a perfectionist only because it's still good enough, you know? To where now you're afraid like your manager's like, "Oh, this is shit work. This is not like you," or like, "Who the hell taught you how to do this?" And it's like, "Okay, no one did." And I tried to do it myself and I did it wrong. Why would you stop me from trying? Without, if you were trying to make me do a certain task and you didn't teach me how to do the task, but I did it wrong and I get yelled at for it, like why would you stop me
Mm-hmm.
from, like why couldn't you tell me the proper steps to accomplish my task instead of yelling me at my faults? And I feel like everybody feels that way. Like, like hey, when it comes down to like streaming, my mentor's here. She can probably like say something in chat. But one, I don't have a stream schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like, yelling at me for it like other people would, she's like, "Hey, you need to start putting down schedule so we can catch you streaming." Or, you need to be a little more consistent in, your scheduling. If you're going to say you're going to do it, you do it that day.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, it's kind of like meeting with people. If you go out to dinner, um, you gotta say, "Hey, I'm gonna meet you at 8 o'clock," and you show up at 8:15. It's like, bro, you're 15 minutes late. I waited for you 15 whole minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you gotta hold yourself accountable to, if you're saying you can do something, you do it that way. and I've been known for saying if I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't, then I'll let you know. Okay, let's see.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do that issue, and I'm trying to work on it, but
I mean,
yeah.
it just takes it just takes like persistence. Like you keep trying, you keep doing it until you get it, you know?
Yeah.
And I know I've been nagging at Cougar for this for a while too. Um
Yeah.
keep trying. Even if you fuck up, you fail, keep trying because if you don't try, there's no point.
Yeah.
If you fail, get what you get it from it. You get experience. You don't, if you take nothing from what you failed at, then how are you going to learn? You know,
Right.
like take for
Y-
example me and my ex roommate. Like, okay, I stopped trusting people like that to this day because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to take in another roommate, I got to make sure they're able to take care of themselves. They got to pay their half of the rent, this and that. No question, no more bathing people, no more, you know, th- doing everything for them. It's just like, okay, I learned my lesson with one. I'm not gonna let that happen ever again.
Right. And yeah, like I have a I think well, I think I do have a huge persistence problem because um if some of you don't know, I'm actually taking therapy because well, the main reason was I was actually hallucinating whenever I get into very stressful situations. And I'm like, that's just a direct flaw for me. I need to fix that now. Now it's fixed. But then I just start to look. I don't know. After that, a lot of problems just keep digging up that I didn't know they were there. And one of them is persistence, which is one of the biggest problems I got because that's the one that's I just can't do anything anymore. Like for for a while, I was in competitive Splatoon, and I was really going hard at it. I was actually learning very quick. My ranks were going higher, like pretty fast, and I decided, what if I make a team? It should be cool, right? And yeah, I started a team with some friends, and I tried to practice. I honestly tried to carry the most weight as I could for the team, and I literally did everything. The fucking logo. Uh, I try to get scrims. It's and honestly, it's pretty hard. It's a pretty hard task to be a leader for Splatoon,
Okay.
and so there wasn't really much anything going on. Even if I was just looking for scrims or anything, and then I later noticed that, like, even at Division 11, we were pretty bad against people. So I tried to like encourage practice and everything, and uh, didn't really turn out that well. There was a lot of lack of practice, and because of all that was happening, like nobody really wanted to practice or people were busy.
Yeah.
Um, we went into a tournament. We massively failed, and and that just with all that, it did snowballed eventually into just a big failure, and I was like, okay, um, I'll disband the team because really we can't do anything, and despite the amount of work I put in, there's absolutely nothing to get out of this, and I just quit. And from then, I just never saw Splatoon the same again. Like, um, the feeling of playing Splatoon isn't the same anymore. Whenever I go to the Squid School server, getting to voice chat and play with friendly strangers around the world, it's not the same anymore. Um, like basically everything in Splatoon isn't really the same anymore. I can't look at it the same. Like I can't look at it the with the amount of um like the amount of motivation I used to have with it. Like
I
my
think
motivation for Splatoon is just deplenish. Like I still play it every once in a while and I just have fun in there. I just mainly uh just play a few matches, or if I'm feeling a little bit funny today, I'll just make a build and it's just a funny build, or just grind some salmon run and all that. And but aside of all that, it's not the same anymore. Same with well, not really the same with Smash. It's I don't know, just I don't know, probably it's because I keep pushing myself to be in the Smash community.
Mhm.
Like how can I how can I explain this? For the Smash community, I think I'm getting back into Smash like bit by bit. It's not a whole lot. I know I still got a lot to go through for Smash, like, competitively. Um, but I am not sure what would make me push further to actually get some effort put in.
all right.
Mm.
My only 2 cents on this is I think you have like so much animosity of the failure that happened that you can't rekindle your own passion for the game that you love the most.
True.
And because of that entire failure, you kind of just like, this is hopeless. I'm gonna give up on it altogether. And that's the one of the things that I it kind of falls into my zodiac animal too as a Taurus. I'm stubborn as shit, and I will not give up until I accomplish what I've accomplished. Like good game life. No matter how many obstacles come my way, we're losing members, gaining members, losing members. You know, plans fall through. I'm still not gonna give up on it. Only because I really want to see the goal happen. Like I want to build a community that helps out the community. I don't want people to just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna join in, benefit from it, and then just leave it whenever it doesn't benefit me anymore." And today's society, um, it is, what can I get out of this for me to stay? And again, I know I bring this shit up a lot, but my roommate said the same exact thing to me. Literally said, "What is the benefit of me living here if there's nothing that I'm gonna get out of it?" And I put myself on the line for, like, I got him a job, I spent money on him, I'm like, and I literally just asked, like, "Hey, can you help me out with something?" It's just a little price that you have to pay for me helping you out all this time. And he's like, "No,
Mhm.
there's no merit for me. There's nothing that I will gain out of this." And it just reflects on what kind of a person people are. Like, if they ever, like, I would never ever go up to Cougar and be like, what would I get out of this? If I'm doing stuff for Star Stadium, like, what am I gonna get out of this? No. I was never like that. Like, I was like, okay, if I can help him out with tournament prizes to get people in, I'd be like, "Here, Cougar, I sent you the PayPal. Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the cost. Don't worry about nothing." And people are mad because like no one does that shit anymore. No one supports blindly. No one gives you that 100%. Like, hey, I got your back. They only got your back if they have something out of it.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. Like, it's a bad mentality to think of. Like, hey, what am I gonna get out of this? Like, there's a certain streamer that I follow, like 100% love her to death, and like, they've told me like, hey, people are only here because they want free shit. And I'm like, no, if you're gonna support someone, you support them all the way. You like, it doesn't matter. If you give me freebies, I won't take it. Even if you give me a discount, I will not take it because I'd rather pay full price to support one of my people. And it applies to my job as well. I would never like, if you're gonna say you support me and ask for discounts, that's not supporting me. That's just be like, oh, let me benefit off of you because I know you, and I'm coming to you for business, but I don't want to pay full price because I don't think you're worth that price. And it's one of those things where you look at it, take it in, and you move on. Because if you try to like fight that person, you try to argue, you try to like, hey, no, because then they're gonna get mad, and then you're gonna get mad, and it's just gonna destroy the friendship in total.
Right.
And like I said, I've been around people too long, and I'm always that nice person who like, no matter what happens, I will help you the best I can without any reward, anything. If you try to force something on me, I'm like, no, I don't want it. Even if like, like I take you out to eat and then you try to return a favor, I'll still say no. Like, that's how stubborn I am. Like, I'm just there to help you out because I enjoy your company. I enjoy you as a person. And, I don't want to be like my parents. That's my main purpose in life. It's like, I don't want to be like them. They lie, they cheat, they steal from people, and just like living in my mom's house, learning how she does business, learning everything, and I'm just like, this is terrible. The same with my work environment. Like, their business model, yeah, it's great for a single owner, but you get fucked over if you're just a worker who's not related to the family, which I am. I'm not related to the family. I'm just a worker. And, they treat everything like, if you're not with me, you're against me. And that mentality sucks. And it's one of those things where it's like, again, it's an emotional obstacle. Like, if you're not with me, you're against me. The people that you want to, like, oh, we have a shared goal. We have, this is a struggle together. And they're like, no, that's your struggle. My struggle is over here. And I don't care about your struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you think about it, and then you start wondering, like, okay, was I ever good enough? Was I Am I important to them? You know, then you start like questioning your self worth, questioning your the path that you chosen. You question whether you keep on living because of all the cards you've been dealt. And we have one life. It's not going to be different. It's not going to change. Even if you go back in time to change the future, guess what? You're still going to walk that same cycle. And for you, Cougar, like, okay, I've asked you so many times, like, hey, what is your plans for your tournaments? What is your goal? You're experiencing, you know, people only coming in just to benefit from you, but what are you going to do to either weed them out or try to retain them? What can you do to force them to give back?
I don't know. I can't. I don't think I can do anything.
Yeah, and it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a failure, and a failure is a failure. That's it.
But my biggest question now, okay, what did you get out of this?
Nothing. Not really anything. It's just it was it was a bad start from. It was just a bad start, or just I don't know. I have no idea what I could do right.
Okay, so if you had the opportunity to do it again, what would you change?
Um, I would just pretty much change everything.
Okay, so that is what you got from it. You got a whole bad experience that you want to change everything about it. That's not getting nothing out of the experience, Cougar. Your outlook is a little different, right? Because you're like, okay, this is a failure, but I didn't get anything out of it. It's not whether it's like you got something, but you didn't see what you got. It's like a hidden lesson where you see the failures. You're like, okay, I know what to do, what not to do next time. That's experience.
Right.
And it it wasn't scary, wasn't it? Now you just know, like,
Nah, it
okay,
was it was just very disappointing to
yeah,
see.
yeah. And so, okay, so I know, you have the biggest trouble with persistence.
Yeah,
Will this experience ever stop you from trying it again?
like the whole tournament thing.
Yes.
I mean, with the experience, I mean, probably because I mean, I don't know. I just can't really do it again. I don't know. It's just the thing is pretty much that once I try something and I massively fail on it, I just can't do it again.
You know
Like,
why?
why?
You just created your own emotional obstacle to it.
Yeah.
You are trying to set yourself up to where you don't see that disappointment anymore because you don't want to try to do it again. And that's what separates persistence between people. Whereas I'm stubborn as shit, I refuse to see good game life die. And I've lost members because, things happen in their lives. I was like, okay, I never give people timelines because if I give them a timeline, they feel obligated that they have to do it and they'll get angry at me for doing it, right? If I don't give them timelines, it gives them the freedom to do it. But the question is, when will they do it? It could be 6 months down the line before they even think of doing something, but they still don't do it. And it's like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it. You said, you said you're gonna do it today, but that was yesterday. And then tomorrow's another day, and you still didn't do it. What's stopping you from doing it?
Pretty much exhausting myself to the point where I just can't continue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I kind of feel about most things.
It's hard. I know it's hard. It fucking sucks, and it's hard. And you know, if you give up, if you just gave up on everything, that's when you be considered a failure.
Mm.
Because if you just keep getting kicked down and you don't get back up, like you've seen all the movies, you've seen all the games. What happens if you don't get up?
I mean, the game just stops there.
Yeah. Do you want it to stop there? That
Uh, no.
like,
Is
and then okay.
is that like
Oh yeah, that's an honest answer. Like, no, you don't want to give up there, right? Okay,
yeah?
so for me to ask you, it's like, okay, your streaming journey,
Yeah.
because it's not, you can't just get followers right out the back. It's a journey. You go along this path, you meet people along the way, and they travel with you. Some people leave because they reach their destination or they want to turn back and go. And if you keep walking your path, you decide like, okay, if I want to continue this or not. Do you want to continue or do you want to just step back?
I mean, I'll just continue. I've been doing this for pretty much a long time, and
Yeah.
for some goddamn reason, I haven't gave up.
Yeah. See, that's persistence.
Mhm.
You persisted to not giving up what you love to do, which is, streaming and gaming. You're kind of like, hey, let's, you know, it, if you play single player games, it gets lonely. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
It does.
And it's good to have an audience because back in the day, we used to go to hang out at my friend's house and we'd all sit in front of his freaking TV while he played PlayStation. And then there's like the two player, like you only had two controllers, so we had to like switch turns, or we play fighting games and whoever dies, we get up the controller. It's more fun that way.
Mhm.
And so, sorry, give me a sec.
Mhm.
So, you as a streamer, you're not giving up from streaming. You're also trying to reinvent ways to bring in people, right?
Yeah, well, now I am.
And
Before I just stopped giving a shit about it.
yeah, and then it didn't really take off, did it?
I mean, I really knew from the start it would never take off. There were times where I thought it would take off, but eventually I had to put my mind in place and just say it's less likely. Just don't be don't be delusional about it. That's what I just tell myself.
But okay, so I don't know if you actually looked at the resources on Twitch. They have pretty good resources on like content creation, talking to communities and all that. And some people don't look at them. They just go, "Oh, there's a go live button. Let's click it and see what happens." Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And I've seen a lot of people give up because they see, one viewer, two viewers. And don't get me wrong, I get discouraged too. But then again, like I don't stop no matter what. And I will go out to people's stream, say hello, be a fucking goofball, flirt with everybody, say inappropriate things, be unhinged as shit. And I bring people here to my channel. And, you know, I've been on Reddit a lot. I jump into Twitch startups. That's where I started learning how to network. I networked with some people there. Turns out they're like, they are pretty rowdy. They are,
Hey, hold on.
no worries. They are pretty raunchy and all that, but I just never gave up. I hit affiliated. It got a little easier when I hit affiliate, but at the same time, I've made connections and I severed connections. And I had to sever two of the people that, I cared deeply for. Because one, they were just like, I left them out of the blue when every single time I tried to do something with them, they just gave me an excuse or they just never came through. And then the other one, I kind of beat myself over it past couple of weeks, actually. Like, I've tried my best to keep in contact with this person, try to make plans with this person, to do things with this person, to talk to this person, but they just left me high and dry. And that's when I was just like, I don't know why I'm trying anymore. That's when I will actually give up on somebody. It's when I sit down and like I tried for like, a month and a half. Like,
you just like keep poking at them and they
yeah,
don't even move.
yeah, exactly. And this is me being persistent, like, hey, I wanted to check on them because they had, mental health issues and all that. So I was like, okay,
Right.
are you alive? Are you okay? How are you feeling today? And their days is like they like, oh no, it's not a good day today. And I always ask, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And no matter what kind of shit that I'm going through that day, I would never, ever not ask you how are you doing.
Yeah.
Like I can feel like the whole world's crashing down on me, and I'm be like, hey, you doing good? You eating yet? Did you have a good day? You do something fun? And it's just the type of person I am. Like, and I've started opening up a little bit, but like I feel like when I open up, it's just the same shit over and over, and I just don't want to talk about it. So I hold it in and I let it eat at me. And I've always been taught to like suppress my emotions. No one wants to hear your shit, and it's true. No one really wants to hear your shit. There's only that select few who always will ask because they actually care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true.
yeah. So like, if word of the wise people, like if you find someone like that, hang on to them.
Surround yourself with those people.
Yeah, surround yourself with people who lift you up, who always ask you how are you doing, who will stop at a dime to help you commit murder or something like that. Those are the true champs. But like, you know, having good game life, having good going life, it kind of like it's a test to see who's loyal and who's not. We already lost a few members,
Oh damn.
and it's just because they got too busy with their life. They don't want to make the effort to try to balance it out. And you already seen how flexible I am. If you guys can't make it, I'll just go ahead and cancel the stream because like, hey, it's not fun by myself, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, by experience, Hollow, like I will cancel the stream. It's like if anybody's missing or because it's like a joint effort.
Right. No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, and it's never fun by yourself. Kind of going back to those single player games, like it's fun. It's fun. It's fun for a while, playing with yourself. But then, after a while, you want someone with you.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't. Some people can do it. Don't get me wrong. Some people can do it. They can run everything and be perfect about it, or what people perceive as perfect.
Yeah.
But then they secretly behind the scenes they had to rely on people. You know,
Yeah.
um, a lot of famous like YouTubers that have an editing team that you guys never see on camera. You guys never hear about the editing team. You guys never hear about the camera crew. You never hear about this. You just see the main YouTuber and that's it, right?
Oh, real.
And then it's the same with like movies.
They only get credit.
Occasionally you'll see the set. You'll but we also have like that giant list of credits in the back of the movie that people never like sit down and actually appreciate.
Yeah.
You could be like, okay, extra number 35, like who is that? That person's pretty cute or whatever. You gotta sit through the credits and watch, okay, this person's extra number 35.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have their name or who did costume, X from this person. It'll show you their name, who did it.
I still think Marvel did the end credit scene so that way people sit through the credits and appreciate the people that go
Yeah,
and help the movie be what it is.
yeah.
That's funny. That's cool. Yeah.
But
I still believe that.
I feel like the credits should be like a little longer and it has pictures of the people who actually help with the production.
Hey, that'd be cool. Like pictures of production happening.
Yeah.
I know some movies have done that. I think maybe.
I wish more of them did that, to be honest. Like, even if the people like, okay, we have Marvel, right? Stan Lee.
Mm.
Why isn't there a picture of Stan Lee and like in memory of Stan Lee? Come on, tell me that.
In every movie.
Yeah, like back when he was still alive, he had cameos and all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
where's the cameo? Where is the photo of Stan Lee in loving memory? What about Chad? What was it? Boswick, right? The Black Panther.
Yeah.
Where is his photo? Like he played a beloved character, and he
Okay,
passed
well.
away without letting people know that, hey, I had cancer. I'm
No, so
fighting cancer.
Look, he has badass as fuck.
Yeah, but like I feel like he just didn't want to burden anybody else with what he was going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And
It's not their business. It's not our business.
yeah, it's just one of those things though. Like you kind of just question it, but then you let it be because there's nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, for the things you do now, make sure you're heard because I dead ass. I was watching TikTok the other day, and they talked about like, hey, when we die, nobody in our family, our generation, know who the fuck we are. They just know you by like, oh, your ancestry, like that was, you know, cousin Jimmy. He had 9 kids. Those 9 kids had 10 kids each. But after the fourth generation, like when their kids has kids, do you still remember Uncle Jimmy? Uncle Jimmy's gone. The only ones that'll actually leave a lasting legacy is the ones who created a factory, the ones who made productions, the one who's set out a foundation to have their names put out in the world. The ones who write their names in history with like buildings, companies, and all that, right?
Yeah.
So my question, to you guys, like, you guys are blocked by like, anxiety, uh, bad experiences, and all that. Like, okay, what can you do to push yourself to overcome that?
Mm, good question. Hold on.
You gotta really like soul search on this one. Like, you feel nervous about doing a task perfectly the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What can you do to overcome that? Will you like just sit, like take extra time to practice to do it so you can do it perfectly, or would you just do it and just like, okay, I failed and I'm not gonna take anything out of this?
Hmm. You know what? It depends. So
Depends.
there will be certain cases where I get met with that situation, and then I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I quit, whatever. But
Mm,
there are other ones where it's like, well, no, I have to. Like there's no like I want, just like I have to do this.
yes.
And those are the ones where it's like I have to do it. I have to because like it's either money or it's just like there's no avoiding it. It's gonna get done sooner or later. Um, I don't know. Like it's after learning to get out of my head. It's hard. It's hard. It's like quicksand. It reminds me of that the replacements
Oh, okay.
with Keanu Reeves. He's like, oh, what are you most afraid of out there? Quicksand. Like one thing goes wrong, and then another, and then another, and then you're stuck there. Like feel like as if you can't do anything like quicksand.
Mm,
Great scene, great movie, great scene. But that explains a lot. It's like, yeah, like I don't want stuff to fall apart. I make a mistake, then that mistake leads to another mistake, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's like I don't know what to do.
okay,
You know.
so well, let me tell you this. That situation that you just put into my head, it's the do or die situation.
Do or die.
Yes,
I mean,
do or
yeah.
die. It literally is a do or die situation. But the quicksand analogy, okay, it is do or die. However, there are ways to get out of quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than one way to get out of quicksand. Let's just say this. The most common way people know about getting out of quicksand is getting help through other people. Pulling you out of the quicksand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're smart about it, you can use the surface of the quicksand to get out of it. You just have to try to push yourself up and try to make as much surface as you can. Not a lot of people do it because it's a little more risky. Because they rather sit and wait for the help to come when the help isn't coming. It's taking more active thinking to get out of your dire situation than just to like wait for someone like, hey, to help me out.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, it's a do or die situation, but like, there are other ways to go around it too. You can find
For sure.
motivation to do it correctly, so you don't have to like, think that, oh, if I don't do this right, I'm gonna die. In some cases, there are ways that you kind of have to do it. Like if there is, an electric cord touching water in front of a door.
Oh Jesus.
Like, yeah, that's a do or die situation. And you're like, okay, how the fuck do I get around this? And it's just like, okay, let me try to find something to knock the cord out of the water so I can crossly or cross safely. And okay, and so with that, um, did that change your output a little bit? Outlook a little bit?
Um, a little bit. I can like if I see it as do or die situations, I might be able to kind of like think differently.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't see like just kind of like how I grew up with anxiety without even knowing what feeling it is. I raw dog life, without knowing what anxiety was. And that's when I started realizing what the fuck it was, then it started giving me problems. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, like let me fucking take care of this shit, you
Yeah.
know. And it's honestly like I don't know a life without anxiety, and that sucks. But hey, also hold on now, you know, it's more like I don't have the correct tools to ease my anxiety because anxiety is part of life, and it like yeah it could rule your life, you know, or you could rule anxiety, and you know it's a constant struggle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, even though like I'm you know I'm feel like I right now I'm at a standstill with anxiety, like I'm doing things to fight it. It's still, I mean, they're still taking like, you know, cheap shots, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to like sneak through, you know,
Yeah.
but um yeah, like I sometimes I just get lost in my head, lost in the scenarios. You know, and sometimes I think like, oh, let me think my way out of this. Let me put myself in the better thought.
Yeah.
All waking up at 8, all of a sudden it's noon and I haven't done shit. And it's like, ah, fuck, like. And then it's like, okay, well, I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of these things to do in these amount of hours, and I should have just started in the morning. So it's just it's like a
It's
you
the
know these
overthinking.
thoughts, it's the overthinking, you know. Sometimes I just,
Yeah.
you know, what ended up happening is like, okay, let me just put something, like put some music on, let me just get in the just start doing it, just
Yeah.
start doing it, you know, just whatever the fuck it is, you know. Even if you even because what I do is like, oh, let me think of what to do first and then next, and then after that, that's when I get stuck. And then if I have something on TV, I get stuck doing that. And so it's like a recipe for disaster. So then I just turn it off, just do one thing. Once that's done, okay, well, now I did this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this.
Yeah. Uh,
So
and with that in mind, right? Did you make yourself little goals to accomplish this task by this time?
today, yeah, I should have done this like probably yesterday or Friday, but I had that costume party, so I just took the weekend off. And right now, I wanted to get it done before Monday because I got an email that I need to reply by Monday, so I need to show something. You know, I already did most of these inspections. I just need to just submit the paperwork.
Yeah.
But um, I'm still kind of figuring out the scheduling on my other job,
Hmm.
the the BI position. So I have a Zoom meeting tomorrow, and then I'm pretty much just waiting until I get matched with a, you know, client or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't have a set schedule for that. So then, besides that Zoom meeting, I could just do this job and then, you know, back and figure out the schedule. And then now I have a more concrete schedule. I can work my way around and just have more of a set flow.
Yeah.
I like my flow. Right now, if I set a flow, I'm gonna have to disturb it, you know, and then disturb it. So I'm right now I'm just kind of like up in the air, trying to like, you know, figure stuff out. I am enjoying sleeping in. You know, I'm sorry because once I get matched and I have my set schedule, I'm gonna be out of the house by like 6:30. You know, and I'm gonna miss sleeping in, so I'm taking advantage of that. So fuck off. You know, I'm gonna sleep in until
That's
I
fair.
can't no more.
Yeah.
You know,
You're setting yourself a goal and you're gonna
even,
accomplish it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Even though my fucking internal alarm clock wakes me up at 6 to 7, I can't sleep in. I wake up, and it's like you know, what the fuck.
I'm like that too. Don't worry. I keep telling myself like today on Sundays. I work at 11 o'clock on Sundays.
Mhm.
My dumbass still woke up at 6:30. I was like, why am I up? I need sleep. I'm sick.
Yeah,
But
I also have like a little goal to just to set up a normal as schedule, the most average you can ever see in your entire life, because I don't really have a schedule. I just let the wind take me wherever it takes me.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like that too,
And
and I'm getting yelled at for it. But yeah, I'm like that too. Don't worry, you're not the only one.
yeah, it's because I don't know. I just really hate when people tell me like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do this," and like, I already have it scheduled. Don't bother me about it.
Exactly. Like I even tell people I have plans to do nothing. Don't interrupt me with those plans. Like, I hate it so much. But
Yeah, like there was work this Saturday or yesterday, but I decided to go to the big house because I had bracket at 2 and I wasn't going to make it at the time.
hmm,
So, but it still went good. Big house was awesome.
yeah, glad you enjoyed yourself, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. But yeah, emotional fuck obstacles. Yes, I don't know what's going on with me today. I have a lot of stuff on my mind. But I'm trying. You know, I feel like this is helping me in the long run. You know, being more busy than I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like it's better. Um, Also, like when I'm feeling like this, when I'm feeling good, like or I feel like I don't want to do anything. I'm my brain's a tricky bastard, dude. You know,
Yeah.
like they know us more than we know it. But
TMI.
yeah, no, right, yeah. But yeah, I get met with these things that are okay. Well, because at my party, I was talking to one of these guys. Yeah, that's funny. Uh, they I live here. Yeah, I live here, and the host was technically like my sister, my not my sister, my girl and my girl's sister, and then their friend, whatever. So then, like, I'm talking to this guy, like, who do you know here? I don't know you. Like, who do you know here? Like, oh, the host, the sister and them, and I'm like, oh, well, I live here. Anyway, I was talking to him, and he came in as I think it was Levi from Attack on Titan, and I'm like, damn, that was a good show. I don't think I finished watching it. I was watching it when uh it was still subbed. So anyway, I'm starting to watch it again, So that was like this whole day, like I kind of do want to keep watching Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
and just get it done, because once I start something, I want to finish it. When it comes to watching a show, I want to finish it. Like I'm on season 9 of The Flash, almost there, almost there. I just took a break because I went through 2 seasons straight. I just took a break. So that showed up, and I'm like, I can't just sit here and just do this,
Yeah.
Even right now, I'm gonna take like a 5 minute break and do something real quick, and then I'll come back. But
Right back to the
like
grind.
yeah, like I still have to do stuff. I ended up cooking before I got on. I ate real quick so that way I didn't have to worry about that, you know. Uh, but then I forgot to do some other things, so I'm like, oh, do that before night falls, which it's already fell. So I'm gonna go do that real quick. It's just taking out trash. So I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah. All right.
All right, Cougar.
Yeah.
Anything you might want to add? Worries, doubts?
To be honest, I have no idea. Um, because I don't know. There's so many things that I don't know that I had to dig up or something. But yeah, I don't really know what other doubts I have. It was just that because my therapist highlighted that, and I was like, Oh, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I literally got mind blown when she said persistence.
Yes.
I thought it was motivation because most of the time I don't really get motivated unless it's just like an overdose of motivation. But honestly, I've been more motivated about life um for the past couple months. I hope I'm right. Yeah, I mean, I can probably thank the drugs for just wiping out the hallucinations out of me for and honestly I thought I wouldn't make it or I thought it wouldn't work, but it did. So I'm pretty happy about that. Um Next thing I might want to change about my mind is how to be more persistent or at least like find a way to like rewire my mind so I can overcome that easily.
I feel like it's something that it's a internal thing where you have to want it a lot.
Yeah, I have to like really, really want it if I want to like actually do something. Like for the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in months. And people are telling me like, hey, you can go to the gym, you'll be looking really good and you'll be really healthy. And I be trying and I just try for just a few days and I'm already out. Like I can't go to the gym constantly because I just get burned out very easily. Like I just go to the gym a few days, I'm already tired of it.
Yeah.
Um and honestly, same with life. I'm pretty tired of life, but I'm not tired enough to say I don't want to live anymore. It's more like I just want to continue on a clean slate. I want a fresh start. Like not like in a way that I just want to start all over again. It's more like I want to jumpstart things all together as a fresh start.
Yeah, I
As
get
a
that.
nice fresh start.
I get that.
And you know, and honestly, these drugs that I've been taking are actually replicating that in different dimensions. Like I buy these drugs because honestly, it just it's I don't know, like I kind of set myself in a way where I just I don't know whatever dream I'm having, it's like a different me in a different dimension, but but for some reason it's always like a fresh new start. Like I want to do like everything, it's like and it pretty much envisioned me to like it kind of put me like a little like it just kind of put me a mental goal where I want to be. And ever since my cousin told me how a good trip is set up, I actually felt it and I was like, oh damn, this actually feels like the end credits of a movie or something. When things are just all right all again.
Yeah.
And just, you know, happily ever after, end credit scroll, there you go. And oh pobrecita. Um and yes, I kinda like it kinda pinpointed something where I wanna go. And um and I have plans to take myself there.
Okay.
Not in a sense where like, oh, I'm going to a different dimension or something. No, it's more like I want to have that same feeling, but I want to do it myself. You know,
Yeah. Instead of like
like I don't
relying
want to
on
simulate
a
it.
substance to send you to that place, you want to be there yourself.
yeah, it's like, oh, I was like, oh shit, this is fantastic. You know, I should work on myself to work towards there. Like, I want that shit to be permanent, but in real life and without being in a simulation. And I know I have concerns on people. I know I am looking at you in chat. I know who you I know the person who's concerned about it. But oh, welcome back.
Welcome back.
But yeah. But yeah, it just honestly, like, I have a bit of a plan to jumpstart my big plan basically. Um I just need to put myself together in some way.
I mean, the only thing that I've always wondered is whether you stick to this plan or not.
Yeah, that's basically my biggest fear, that I
Yeah.
just won't stick to it.
You know,
And
like I said, I'll be there every step of the way. Like, I'll be there to encourage you. I'll be there to, like, hey, what's going on with the plan? We still doing this, or that kind of stuff too. I'll be there to give you the checks to see where
yeah,
you're at. Because no one did for me. Might as well do it to help someone else out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know very well that if I'm going to jump into this plan, I won't back up anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's now or never.
Yeah. But you're also still young, so you're fine. It, everything is gonna go according to plan, however you plan it, as long as you stick to it, Cougar.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not like, I don't know, it's just there are some circumstances that's gonna really make me do it.
Mhm.
And I kind of don't want to wait any longer,
Yeah.
but I just want to make sure if I'm going to jump into this plan, um I'm I'm going to have to do it perfectly, because if I screw this up, I'll be fucked.
Cougar.
And no, it's not like a me thing, it's more like a law thing or something. Like, I really need to be careful with whatever I'm going to manage, and there's gonna be a point where I'm gonna be by myself. So, like, just all alone in the adventure. So I really hope I can make it. I've I've experienced a little bit of, like, m- mismanaging money,
Mm,
but
we all have.
hopefully whatever I know just helps me just get through it.
Mhm.
I mean,
Like,
the journey is always going to be the hardest one, and you gotta also give yourself room for failure. Unless you're doing something really illegal, then don't get caught.
I mean, if I have to.
No. You already know my answer. No, sir, I will be lonely. But
Damn.
if you ever think of it this way, if you're having a hard time of seeing like failures come in your face, trying to be a perfectionist, go into stocks. That'll teach you how to fail and how to be a loser about it.
Yeah.
And Cougar knows firsthand, like the stock that I told him to buy, it's like really low right now, right? You lost some money off of it,
Yep. I did lost, like,
but you didn't sell any of it, so it's still generating you some money.
yeah, pretty much.
And that's the thing that people don't understand with that stock. It's like no matter how much the prices fluctuate, the more you own, the higher the payout will be. And for some people, like they look too much at the value than what it's actually worth. So, Cougar, now you know firsthand of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
you look at the value, you're like, ah shit, it's low, right? But you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I lost money. But what did I tell you? Do you remember the exact words I told you when that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what I said?
Not exactly, or unless if I don't know what question are you talking about.
I told you it's not about how much the price is because that's a fucking flash sale. You can buy more to offset the amount you lost, and then over time, the amount of dividends that you get from that stock will pretty much pay it back. Because no matter
Yeah.
what you do, you set it up to where, it just keeps, you bought it and you're just earning money from it. Every single month, you get 10 cents per share, right?
Yeah.
And now, I don't know how much you own, but if you have over like 10 shares, that's $1 per share. Or that is $1 every month, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? It's a flash sale. So you can just buy more, and next you know, if you have 100 shares, you'll be getting $10 per month.
Yeah.
So it's just, the goal is like, even if you fuck up and fail, you still get something out of it. That's why I told you to, like, when it comes to stocks and stuff, don't worry too much about how much you lose as long as it pays out a dividend. Because no matter how much you own or whatever value that, stock is, you still get a cut of it every single month. Whereas some people, they go for the stock value, which is like, if it plummets, that's when they lose money. You gotta treat life kind of like the stock market. Shit's gonna go up and shit's gonna go down. What are you gonna get out of, either from either of it?
Just the experience.
Yep. Hello, Grizzly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Yes.
like, I think that's what creates a lot of, like, I want to say internal struggles, because of what you would see how people are rich and how people are poor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like what they do to be rich, what they do to be poor, or what did they do to mess up so badly that they're poor, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't take account of, like, okay, how many times did the rich guy fail at what he did to become rich? Because every rich person has their success story, unless they were given that money from their parents or something. You know, and even then, they still had to compete for, like, the inheritance or whatever. And most people will tell you, like, hey, like, it's a rags to riches story. Like, they fucked up so many times, but they still kept doing what they're doing, and next thing you know, they're like a multimillionaire. And you can be a multimillionaire and still have 30 cents in your account.
Mm.
That's what people also don't understand. Like, you can have so much money, but your bank balance still stays the same, because guess what? You have money in assets. You have money in, like, you know, other things. Like, you can have money in businesses. Businesses barely pay for itself or whatever. On a good time, you actually have money. On bad times, it's sustaining itself, right? But people don't
Yeah.
look at that. They look at the failures, like, oh, if it's not making money, then it's not good. But if your business is sustaining itself without you going in the red, that's successful already. As long as your cost to, your cost to operations isn't like a bad ratio, you're pretty much doing good, right?
Yeah.
And good game life right now is kind of in the red because of not enough people buying the merchandise.
Yeah, that's
that's another thing we gotta talk about later.
that's another thing we had to pretty much rework altogether.
Oh yes, everybody needs to be on this one. I would. Well, again, I can't really say much.
Yeah.
We need to revamp it somehow, but um, yeah, like emotional obstacles.
Yes.
Like, what's stopping you from being the better version of you? Like, I really
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah. Anyone hearing, listening, just wants to chime in too, we can, I'm definitely trying to help out. Non-professional opinions and such, but I know a lot of people have them.
Yeah.
And people deal with them differently. A lot of people will most likely just tell you, "Yeah, I just do it." Yeah, I just take care of it.
Yeah.
But those are the trouble-free people. We like to hear about the ones that have trouble because we want to connect. We still want to connect always.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Right now, what I'm trying to do is like put up obstacles so I don't have to face the fact that I'm gonna be not having that much personal time, coming up.
Yeah.
But it'll be translated to money, which is cool. But it's like I forget that I was never about money,
Yeah.
but that's what life makes us.
It's all
Uh,
about. To be honest, our society is geared towards money. To be honest,
yeah, yeah,
people perceive wealth as um how much money you have in your bank.
Mm.
And I actually got asked this by an older client. She was about, I want to say 76. And she asked me, she's like, "Hey, you're a young kid." Because apparently 30 is young as fuck. But
Mhm.
she's like, "What makes you rich?" Like, she legit asked me that, right? Now I'm gonna ask you guys the same question. What in your guys' best description, what makes you rich?
Uh, I don't understand the question at all.
You don't understand the question. Like, okay, what value do you see yourself being rich?
Like in money?
Nah, I see it as, like just not wanting for different things, not always about money. So like let's say, I have I'm growing fruit and vegetables, like but like a farm, let's say I have like a small little farm and everything, like I don't have to spend that much on food, you know.
Okay, so it
Like
still goes.
with my friends, like if I need anything, whether it be emotional support or just wanting someone to talk to and share stuff with, you guys are there, you know.
Yeah,
Or reach out, like that. I'm rich in friends, I'm rich in love, I'm rich in experience. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm like very experienced, but like uh, from my perspective, I've done a decent amount. I haven't done everything. I'm close, but I like my experiences and I will keep having them. and everything. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I feel like I'm rich in that because I could still be that little kid that hasn't left Long Beach,
Yeah.
or like, or hasn't wanted to go out and explore. So, I'm rich. I would say I'm somewhat wealthy now. I don't. I mean, I'm definitely not wealthy money. I'll tell you what. But um, yeah.
Cougar. What do
That's
you
a
think is like what do you perceive as being rich? For Hollow,
uh,
his is like knowledge and experiences and all that. How about you?
um honestly, I have no idea. I don't really know what really makes me rich. I mean, I don't know. It's more, I mean, probably my skills, but I don't know if that's even considered being rich or something.
Mm, I mean, this is the answer that I told the lady, and she said it's a really good answer. And for me, what I define as being rich is having, you know, all the free time in the world, being able to experience what I want to experience, and having a lot of like close friends in my life that I can just go out and hang out with. You know, that's me being rich. It's not monetary value. It's not the size of the property. It's not how fancy your car is. It's about being able to spend my time with the people I love. That's wealth for me. And it's just one of those things where most people don't perceive it like that. They think being
Yeah.
rich is like I don't struggle anymore. But at the same time, it's just like they want enough money so they don't never have to struggle. But look at it this way: the rich people are also like, some of them are like heavy into drugs, but you just don't know about it because like they don't even need to have the struggle to struggle because their wealth gives them everything they need, right?
Yeah.
But then they start, doing drugs, drinking, spending, heavily on things just to try to fill in a gap. And, if, but that's how they perceive themselves as being rich. It's just the removal of the struggle. But I think the struggle factor is important in life.
It is.
Yeah. You have to struggle, man. I feel like you do.
Yeah, and some
Yeah, there's always a struggle to something.
to some degree, yes, there's a really bad
Yeah.
struggle. Like I kind of wish that we all didn't have to struggle so bad. Like,
That's just the way. Yeah, man.
yeah, it's just the way it is. And we all are headed through this journey together. And you know, it's just like, man. But yeah, that lady legit said that was the most smartest answer I can give her, and she was actually proud because like that's how she saw life too.
Huh.
Like she perceived it as hanging out with her friends, having a good family, having a nice place to live. Even though she rented an apartment, she's like, "Yeah, I'm still rich. I have a home." You can have a house, but it can be broken, and that's not a home, bro.
All right.
And home is where you can actually relax. You can, you feel loved. And people don't have that. Some people don't have that. They go to their house and it's like, I'm miserable. But then it's just like, what is stopping you from not being miserable? And they express like their fears, like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to, I don't want to sleep on the street. I don't want to, they give themselves these like mental blockage of pretty much going to a better place. They rather just tough it out and live in the situation they're in because they're comfortable. Like it, if you guys don't know, people who are abused, they have the hardest time getting out of that situation. Because one, the minute they give up their freedom to go live with the abuser, they feel like they're not safe anymore. Because, even though the abuser's abusing them, the abuser is protecting them from everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then they feel like, oh, I don't have any other place to go if I leave. There's always, there's always a place to go. You just got to get out of that bad situation. But they kind of just like, they're too scared to leave. I was too scared to leave when I was like 22. Like, my mom would come home, beat my ass, and scream at me for no fucking reason. And then just one day when she said, get the hell out of my house. And I asked her, "Is like, are you sure that's what you want? Because I'm never going to come back." And she's like, go. I don't care. Go die for all I care. And I was like, okay. I walked literally 2 days to my grandma's house. From like, you know, near, my area, right? Hollow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the way near, like, I want to say the city of Downey.
Shit.
Yeah, I had to fucking walk. Because I had no money for the bus. Didn't know where I was going. I got lost a few times. And, it's just like, it took me 2 whole days to get there. I had to sleep on the street for a night, bro. And, yeah, that was the fucking time I was homeless. I had a phone, didn't have any friends, couldn't call anybody to help me out. My cell phone wasn't even a fucking smartphone. It was one of those flip phones.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
No, this was back in 2015. I didn't even have money for a smartphone, bro. That's how
No,
bad
I
it
still
was.
had. I didn't have a smartphone in 2015. So
Yeah. And, like, when you sleep on the street, it opens up your eyes, dude. Like, it changes you. And, one of my acquaintances that I met like a year ago, we had a disagreement over something. It was something stupid. But I also kind of told them, like, hey, tough it out, get a job, do what you can right now to put yourself into a better situation. And they didn't do that. And now I got a message a couple of days ago saying that they've been living in hotels because they're homeless.
sure.
And they're asking me for money, or, asking me to, like, hey, can you throw this link in the Discord to have people help me out? And I just never responded because I don't know what to say. I'm like, I want to say I fucking told you so, but that's not the right thing to do.
Right.
Like, I want to help, but that's also not the right thing to do because then they're going to be reliant. They're always going to think, oh, the goodwill of people is going to help me out no matter what, right? I'm sorry to say, but, like, you're 18. I know you had a shitty situation,
Yeah.
but you have to think logically what you need to do, and you have to execute it. Even if you fail, it's that point. It's do or die. And I hope they got the message. I really do. But me intervening, I can't do it anymore because of that one situation that already happened to me.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh yeah. It's bad. Yeah, I think this should be a good closing point.
Yeah, good closing point. Hopefully next week we'll we'll be here.
Yeah. So if anybody watching, if you want to, well, I'll just type it up.
Mhm.
Discord. Join my Discord. I do have a Feels Family Love Corner. You have any struggles, you want some advice on anything, just feel free to message. I just posted a thing about finding your own self worth. And, I urge everybody to look at that. Like, hey, we can't give you your own worth. You have to define your own worth. And so I would love for you guys to read all that. And even at the end, it's not the thing I love about that is because I use ChatGPT to generate it.
Nice.
And at the end, it says, remember, self worth isn't solely dependent on external validation, it should come from within. It's about valuing yourself for who you are, irrespective of others' opinions and societal pressures. That resonates deep within me. And, all you guys are worth something. You guys are all worth more than gold. Like, I appreciate y'all. I love all of y'all. And that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Unless you prove otherwise, but But yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Let us raid. Let's raid Grizzly. I want to raid Grizzly today.
Yeah, I think I'm done with this one. Check.
Let us raid. Is he playing Rainbow Six? No, he is. All right, guys.
All right.
If you guys want to jump into the raid, thanks, Two Shot. This is the raid message. Yeah, everyone pressure him to take off his shirt. Man, it's sexy as fuck. And I will be in Zombie's Discord after this because she's a cool person to hang out with.
All right.
All right. But yeah, hang out with Grizzly. He sings to us. Yeah, we could force him to take off his shirt. Let's do this.
Zaki.
Cool.
How you doing? What up, Two Shot?